Hello guys, it's Susanna here. I've got another little project that I am doing. I was so in love with the little house cottagey thing that we did with the prompt with Roxy's journal of stitchery. I thought I'm going to make up another one that I've got on this beautiful vintage linen that I'd purchased. I got the smallest bit. I've only got 11 kits available, and here they are, and this is my design that I come up with. So you get that design plus yeah, hang on a minute, I'll just open that. So that's the layout, but you also get I'll open that up. So I lay it out in the way that it's going to be coming in the kit. But you get the layout, and that's to do the embroidery. So you put your pieces on top of that for your instructions, and then here is the yo-yo, the sky, the roof, and all that kind of stuff. So you get all of that in the kit and everything in here to make it. Here we go, these are these bits, that's for the roof. Vintage piece of quilt which I made for the roof, so I'm going to do something with that. I've got mostly this pattern here, and then I've got about 3 with it's sort of fairly similar, but that was all I run out of, but everything else is the same. They've got, you know, little buttons. I'm going to put buttons in here. The design's going to be a little bit different to this one because you know, this is more of a double story. I put number 52 up there, just thought it needed number 52 because I'm 52, so that's why I've got that. I won't have a little fox if you want to, you know, get a little rabbit or a fox and all that kind of, because it's a stamp. I can't sell these and have that in the thing. Okay, so I just thought it was just so gorgeous. I wanted to make up another one and have, so I made up a few little kits because I thought this is going to go into our journal of stitchery, but this would be absolutely gorgeous just to put, hang up on the wall, or do whatever you like with it. So I might zoom in so that we can work on it a little closer. So what you need to do when you get your kit, I've actually got it laid out in that way. So you get your piece here and you put it over I'm going to put a pattern after the kits have sold, which is not very many. I'll probably put the pattern in my store. So when you get that, put your piece of fabric over, put it on a window or a light box, and draw the pattern over the top with one of these waterproof ink pens or whatever you've got. You know, here's a gel ink pen from Typo. So yeah, just to get that design on there. And with that, I just did that because we're going to do tiny little French knots, like with one thread of DMC floss. I thought I want to look at wisteria. So this is actually, I love it, but it's very busy and I wanted more white space. So and I'm just going to have stuff in the window box here, just a little garden along here, and maybe along the pathway. Not so busy like that there. That works for that, but yeah. And then this will be, it's the same as what I've got on mine. I want to put that up a little higher, have it more like the sun, make it into a yo-yo. So what I would like to do first, I like how it's got this stitching. So with your piece of thread, Actually, I might just quickly, I'm just getting a point on my grey lead just to make it a little bit sharper. Yep. And I was thinking mine has actually got a bit of blue underneath, and see how it's already got a little bit of stitching. So what I was thinking is I would like to continue some of that stitching along. Might take that little bit out because we want it to match. Okay. So I'd like to continue this along, and I want to do a bit of cross hatching on the roof of this cute little cottage. So it's already got some stitching there. So where's my thread? I might actually use this and that. So use, actually it's got a white thread in there, so I might, probably a bit too thin. I've got some white DMC thread here somewhere, but I might, oh goodness, it's a little bit thicker. Because I think that is a little bit, I mean it's strong, but I think it's a little bit too thick, too thin. Whereas this is just a tad thicker. So I'm just going to use the one and continuing working with the, so I might even get a little pin to make sure it's being held down. So that's why I thought I'm going to just use a pencil. If I did the black, it would be too dark. So I'll continue here. Tiny little white floss. Start in the back there so you don't see it. And make sure that you go through all the layers. So we're going to do a tiny little running stitch. And I mean, I know it's a little bit of work, which it will be, but it will look really adorable. Okay, where's the other one? We're going to go here. And at least we know it's not going to go anywhere. So we're working with the tiny little bit of embroidery that's already in there. Okay. It's unusual that the first thing we're doing is the roof. Okay, but I thought we'll make a start on it. Go down. This gives it that real country in English cottage look, which I think will be adorable. I think this may be a couple of videos because I'm definitely not going to get it done in one. See, that one's already got that on there, so I'll go bypass that one and go all the way over to here, because we've already got that one. Okay, and this bit from the old lot. Okay. Man, the person who did the original stitching, look how tiny that is. So if you wanted to, you could probably take out the original stitching and do your own and make it all the right width. Very small. Okay. So rather than bore you to tears, I'll continue doing that, and then I'm going to go, here is, by the looks of it, someone has done, I might take that out and work with what I've got. There we go. But because the marks and that are already there, I'm going to use those. Okay, so that's what we want to do. I don't really particularly want to pull this one out. Gather it up a bit. Okay, I might add another stitch to it so it secures down. Now go back, and we're going to start here, I think. Oh. Okay, well, I'll pause and I'll continue to do that, and then we're just going to do, like I said, that cross hatching going that way as well. So I'll be back. Okay, we're back again, and this is how it looks. This little cross hatching, it doesn't have to be perfect, and I've left that little bit of white in there because we're going to be stitching it on here with the white. So now these little guys, you fold in half and then put around here, but we're going to do that a little bit later. First we need to sort of like pull everything apart. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get just a little bit of this and just do that, because that can go on there, and I'll do the same with that. I will still pin, but just going to put that down there. There we go, and then this goes along there like that. So you just use the template, and once again, everyone else got the best part. I got the one that had the slight hole in it. That's okay. I'm going to have a fence and everything over the top. Anyway, okay. So what we do, I love that glue. So it's sort of a little bit glued on, and then that's going to go there. We've got a little bit of a leeway here, but probably not too much, because we want to put our buttons down, so like have a little garden bed like here. So I might put a bit of glue on the bits that you don't see. Okay, so I sort of want it there. I might have it along there because we want a bit of a garden, the garden path. How long is the garden path? So that determines how low we go with the house. That's straight and that's going to go that way. I think so. So let's get the garden path down. Here we go, because that divides that, and then that'll go down there like that. There we go. I've got a little bit more on the top, so I'm going to cut some of that off. Then I'm going to just quickly put this down. You can do this with a glue stick. I thought it'd be easier. If you want to, you could probably use some heat and bond to put it down as well. I'm guessing, actually, let me have a look. The roof on a bit of a gap there. Here we go. And then I'm going to cut a little bit of that off. Once I've stitched that down, I might even cut more. So, okay. And then we'll start proceeding to stitch. A few people have got a different sort of bit of lace for the fence, if you know what I mean. So for that we'll go on later. Okay, so I'll put this up to make sure that I am in camera. So what we are going to do, I might even pin some of these down just so they stay down. So we're going to get some I'm going to do some canvas stitching, so I might use that as the guide and then just do a running stitch along there, like going like that all the way down. That gives it a bit of, is that straight? I think it's straight. I was hoping to do it with that as well. There's a little bit of that. So I'm going to do that running stitch along here as well, and I might go up and down on here. And I picked this one because it's sort of a bit like a flower. This is really quite thick vintage linen, so doing this stitching is going to hold these down. Okay. I'll put that in the middle, one in the middle. Might have a couple on my pathway. Okay, and then a few more on here, just to make sure that they are being held down before we do our stitching. And I might put one in the house. So what I'd like to do with this is I might get some, I might use some of that. Maybe even use my little roof. I love my little roof. Might get a really light, is there a white here somewhere in the DMC? actually I might use this rather than using white. It's sort of like a really light blue, because I sort of want to see it, but at the same token I don't. So what I'm going to do on the house, put that down, is I am going to proceed to do a little running stitch on the house. Oh, would help if I had a knot in it. Okay. Okay. I really enjoyed doing the first house. I'm glad I'm doing this because it's just so cute. Okay, so we're just going to do a bit of a running stitch. Make sure you go through all the layers, because it holds this down as well. And all the embroidery that we do on here will hold the middle down, so that works too. So got a little bit of homework. I might go sort of a bit of a darker blue in the sky, and might pick out the darkest blue from that. And then I'm going to do that to make it the sky, and then sort of go that greeny colour and do, because I did it along here as well, but I went up and down, and here, see how I sort of did it, but I'm going to do it with the flow of what the background is. Okay, now this is just holding it down at this point. I'm good at letting my thread come out of my needle. There we go. I do love the colours in this, very soft. Okay. This might make a maybe if you wanted to use it as a journal cover, you know, put it as part of your embroidery in the book. But I just thought it's just so cute. It would make a really good centerpiece for a starting of a quilt, and then you can add little extra stuff around it. But I think it probably would be nice being framed. And if you want to, you add your own number. Rather than number 52, you could probably add the number of your house. Okay, that's as simple as we're going to go to attaching that. I may end up doing like I did here. I did a stitching on the side to give it a bit of definition. We'll see how we go with that. Oop. Definitely quite the thick linen underneath. Okay. Now, yep, grab my white. I will need that a little bit later. Okay. Just going to go over that. And a few layers to go through there. Yep. on the edge of the door. That's being held in place. I just needed to hold that down so it wouldn't go anywhere. So I could show you what I'm doing for the roof. Okay, finish that off. So you might go in. And as you can see, it's really thick linen, so it makes a really good background. Okay, so okay, may use that for something else, so I'll keep that aside as well as this. Okay, now what I want to do is get this roof, and I'll probably put a little bit of glue on the bottom of that as well. Okay, put that on there like that. Make sure there's a little bit of a gap because that's where that wall is going to be stitched onto. So now grab all your little bits like that off, and then we proceed to sew the roof down. Oh, I have got lucky glue or something on my finger. I'll just grab that off. I think it's something from the edge of the, okay, since I've got a little bit of that on there. So what I'm going to do is grab this. Not a great deal of that left on, we'll have to get more, but I thought I'll use up what I've got. And then we're going to just do a little slip stitch all the way around, holding the little house in place. I really love that little cross hatching. It just gives it enough. It gives it that quilted look, but it sort of looks like an old cottage roof. Okay. Now I'll pause, stitch that down, and then I'll be back and I'll probably show you how we do this today, and then do a little bit of homework. So just grab a nice coloured thread. What have we got? I'm thinking that. So follow the guide of that, and you can make it as far away or as close as you like, a bit like how we did this, you know, just follow the guide of that. So I'll do that in that dark blue if you want to pick out the light blue. And then with the garden, I've got some of this really nice thread, which I will do the same. I'll follow, go underneath the path, and that. This I'm just going to go up and down, and I might even do it this lighter green or some sort of green on there as well. Here's a variegated green that I've got, or I've got this one. Oh, I think that might work. I might do that. and then I'll do this one on there and then these two on there. So I'm going that way and then up and down, just doing the canthus stitch on that. So I'll be back when I finish sewing that, and then I'll come back for that. Okay, we are back again, and that has been stitched on. And what we're going to do, we've got these two little bits in the kit, and then all these is just wool, and I sort of got one with it's in a darker version of this. I threaded up a needle with sort of thick thread. Better put a knot on the end of that. I think I might have already. So what I'm going to do, I got a needle with a fairly big eye, and I put a knot in it and really pulled it tight. So what we're going to do, here's the pattern. It's sort of like a little eyebrow. So sort of use the pattern as a bit of a guide. I'm probably going to start. It's going to be a bit tricky to pull this through, and we're going to hold it down and then maybe go down there, pull that through here. Oop. Now we want it to be, it's going to be thick on both sides. Okay. So a needle with the big eye. Oop. Now, and then come back through fairly close to it and pull it through again. It is a little tricky, but oh, there goes my thing. Hope she's not going to talk to me. So what we're going to do now is we're doing a couching. Okay, that's just going to be couched down. Have it probably a little bit almost onto the cottage itself if you want to. But this was the easiest way. If you wanted, the pattern is there, you could get yourself this colour thread and not thread, fabric, and you know, because I have got the pattern for it, and then put a bit of fabric on there. But I thought doing it this way might give it a little bit more dimension. Do it as close as you can, holding that down. Okay, then push that in there. I want to go back down through there again. So pulling that out, there we go. Now, because it needs to be double, so there we go. It's going to go down like that. We are just couching it down, so it definitely needs a 2 because it needs to sit just above where the window pane is. Make sure you don't connect the window, like get on the window pane, because we need to stitch that. Ugh. The trouble when you've got a real long thread, I probably had it too long. Yeah, we want to stitch the window pane, but it can tangle up. I'm just stitching it down. There goes my heater again. Autumn is funny weather. We get warm days and, you know, cooler days, but it's been quite a warm autumn this year. And that's being held down at the back, which I will probably pick up a stitch and then do a couple of stitches through there to make sure that it's being held down. And then we do the same on the other side. It's thick enough thread that it's not going to be sewn through, if you know what I mean. And one little window pane done. So do the same with the other side. Because it's wool, might fluff it up a bit. And then we got ourselves a little bit of a dormer. So where's my other piece? Do the same for that. Once you've got the window in there, it'll like next lot of next part, we'll be doing all the embroidery on the house and the embroidery up there. So your homework is go grab some threads going that way and that way on the sky and the garden, just a canvas stitch, so like that, running stitch, follow the flow, and then just up and down in the garden here, and then just a quick running stitch too, or even a little tacking stitch just to hold the little pathway down. We're going to be putting some flowers across there, so yeah. And then next time we'll do some embroidery, which will be really good. So I'll turn it off, do that. Yeah, it's got a slight bit of bluey colour in this, which is really nice. That's why I picked it. So there you go, and it will stand out a little bit more because we're going to do, I'm probably going to use it's a brown, but it's sort of a darky brown, similar colour that I used on my other house, and so that'll make that stand out a little bit. Okay guys, well, I will catch you in the next video. It's really hard to see it, but it does look done. And the little house, I love the roof. So if I don't think it stands out enough, I could probably even go around the roof with some of that and on the house, which I think I may, because that makes it stand out a little bit. Okay guys, I'll catch you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed. Go to my Etsy store and grab yourself a kit. There's only 11 available, so but then I'll be having once they've sold out, I'm going to probably just have the pattern, and that'll have full instructions, so it's a bit more, yeah. Okay guys, I really appreciate everyone watching, and welcome to the new subbies and everything, and I hope you enjoy this cute little cottage tutorial. Bye.